Hello, good morning / afternoon, everybody. This is Brian Rohde with ARI, Business Development Manager here. It's about 1 minute to noon Central. We're going to give it 1, 2, and a couple more minutes here as we see attendees continue to roll in here. And so we'll get started here. I'll check back. I'm going to mute myself, but I'll check back here in just a couple minutes. But I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. We are on time. You are on time. Thank you very much for attending. And we'll let some more attendees that are registered, like yourselves, jump on in here. All right, we've had a few more people roll in. Really appreciate everyone being able to attend here this afternoon. We know how busy you are. Again, my name is Brian Rohde. I'm Business Development Manager here with ARI Network Services on the website division. And we're going to be talking about, what's hot in 2021 and strengthening your business with customer approved digital tools. And this is the third in a series of 3 webinars. And just to get us kicked off and started off here, I'm going to turn it over to Joe Dykes. Joe, if you want to introduce yourself and get us started, I'll let you go.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Hello and good morning or afternoon, wherever you may be this fine Wednesday, to everybody out there. Thanks for joining. Again, my name is Joe Dykes with the Equipment Dealers Association. It's my pleasure again to introduce our presenters today, Brian Rohde and Tony Zane from ARI Network Services. ARI is the leading website and digital technology provider for business owners in the outdoor power equipment industry for over 20 years. Built exclusively for OPE dealers, ARI dealer websites generate more traffic, leads, and sales than any other website solution on the market. Since 1981, ARI has been the leader in e-catalogs, providing access to the unmatched library of more than 10 million SKUs at your parts counter, on your website, or however you need it. Brian is ARI's Business Development Director, and he's been working with independent business owners in the outdoor power equipment industry for more than 10 years. In his role, he focuses on helping to build and deliver value-added programs to ARI's customers through third parties like manufacturers, distributors, and of course the Equipment Dealers Association. Tony Zane is the sales manager of outdoor power equipment dealer websites and software sales at ARI. He came to ARI 9 years ago from an outdoor power equipment dealership just north of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. With his experience using ARI's website and software products, Tony has made it his mission to help other dealers utilize ARI's suite of products to bolster their efficiency and to sell and service more equipment. EDA, as an association, has chosen ARI as our preferred provider website development for our members. With this partnership, our member dealers have the opportunity to save 50% on setup fees as well as 10% on their monthly rate within the first year with ARI. And before we jump in, I just want to go over a couple of housekeeping items. First, we encourage you to ask questions today, and just type your question in at the appropriate spot there, and Brian and Tony will answer them aloud for the group as we go along. Second, everyone who registered for today's session will receive the recording of the webinar via email following this presentation. So with that, I'll turn it over to Brian for this interesting presentation. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Joe. Really appreciate that. Again, tremendous thanks and appreciation go from ourselves, from me and Tony and ARI on out to EDA for allowing us the opportunity to discuss, conversate, and just teach and pass along all of what we know when it comes to the digital space with websites, digital marketing, and all those different types of services that we can, provide to enhance, sales at each of your locations. And we're really pumped up to, speak more about that today. So, and like Joe said, please, we're not going to say questions at the end. We're going to say, type your question in. We'll get to it as we roll along. It's kind of a new thing that we want to try here. We want to be more interactive as we go along. So if on any of the slides you don't understand something, you can't hear me, you want to learn more about it, or just you have a specific question, we'll get to those as we roll along. So really appreciate it here. And there's Tony and myself as well. So a little bit of an outline. We're going to talk a little bit more about, what Joe had alluded to with the EDA, Equipment Dealers Association, and ARI partnership. Then we'll get into the 2021 consumer behavior type models. We'll talk once again about the digital path to purchase. I cannot emphasize that enough. And then we're going to get into, specific solutions that we're offering here at ARI with regards to websites, digital marketing, our new features like Dealer Pick 360, Chat Bridge, of course, ECommerce. We'll do a little bit of a recap. And again, if there's other questions that we haven't gotten to or that you'd like to ask at the end, we'll get into a little bit of that as well. All right, so like Joe said, ARI is the preferred website and digital marketing provider for the Equipment Dealers Association that you're all a part of. Per this arrangement and per our relationship with the group, we have approved for any of yourselves that do not currently have a website with ARI that you do qualify for some really opportunistic savings. Half off of setup fees, at least 10% off of the first year's monthly fees as well. And I'm going to let Tony speak later on about the type of pricing and packages that we have available. So a little bit about ARI Network Services. I'm not going to spend too much time on this slide, but we've been around for nearly 40 years as of this year in working with businesses and dealerships like yourselves, right? We've got decades of experience in working with specific distributors, manufacturers, associations like the EDA. We're very, very schooled and we understand the industry. Like Joe said about Tony, Tony came from the industry. Tony spent some time working in a dealership and we plucked him out of there and we gave him a desk job. He got tired of standing on his feet. So we're really lucky to have Tony, but that type of industry expertise and knowledge we're able to pass along from different success points and case studies. And we're really excited to continue growing our branches throughout the industry. As far as 2021 consumer behavior, we've got some cool percentages that you can see here. 62% of US consumers shop online more now than before the pandemic, right? I think it's really out of necessity, stay at home, let's get deliveries. Amazon has never been as busy as it has been. And people are researching online more than ever instead of just getting in the car, driving to a spot, to go to a department store or big box location or small businesses like yourselves. People are researching and they're looking for that information before they even decide to order it online or go to, the brick and mortar. 88% of customers spend most or all of their buying cycle online. 74% of consumers across all age groups now feel comfortable purchasing online, right? I mean, those percentages are absolutely up, due in large part to all the events across the year that was 2020 into 2021. And those types of behaviors aren't just going to revert back to, early 2020 or 2019 levels. We're becoming more efficient and effective in our shopping and consuming ways as consumers. Here's our digital path to purchase once again. A few of you, I think, have been on a couple of these past webinars that I've been speaking on, and most of you are definitely new to this one from what I can see on the list that I see in front of me, who's all here. So honestly, this is a very, very important graphic to really kind of take into account. Everything starts with a search up in the upper left-hand corner. 87% of customers research online before visiting in store, most of which are coming from mobile devices, 58% on mobile, 42% on desktop. Now, desktop has been trending down over the past decade, of course, with those communication devices that double as telephones. Of course, who uses an Apple phone to actually make a call anymore? But well, they're so easy to perform research on, and most people are utilizing those. Other areas where research is performed online include review sites, social media, YouTube videos, eBay, Craigslist, and if you think about it, when we're talking about different research points, consumers are looking at what kind of reviews you have for your business, or they might go to consumer reports and look up reviews and feedback for different pieces of equipment that they might not otherwise know as much about instead of picking up the phone. So there's a lot of different touch points and information out there for the consumers to utilize, educate themselves on, and factor into their different purchase decisions. Down at the bottom here in the middle, you'll see the way that, of course, consumers visit retailers' websites, your websites. And so what are the customers or consumers looking for? They're looking for pricing. They're looking for details about store hours. They're looking at details about the item, maybe to see if it's in stock, if it's used, if it's new. A map showing location of where an item might be in the store, or a map of where the location store is. So there's a lot of different places and pieces that the consumer is expecting and looking for as they visit a website when they're conducting their research. And then furthermore, consumers are getting more and more adept in trusting and utilizing chat technology on websites. In fact, 85% of chatters are more likely to convert into customers. We've got a new chat tool included with our platform that some of you might be interested in here in a few slides that we'll talk about as well. Buying online, e-commerce, 20% year-over-year growth from 2019 to 2020. Normally, we see a year's worth of growth at about 1% to 2%. So at the very least, we're really talking about a decade's worth of advancement in e-commerce sales in just 1 year, in 1/10 of that time frame normally. And again, it's really spurned on and been generated because of the pandemic, because of COVID, and like it or love it, it's had a huge impact on our industry here. And then post-purchase, 85% of consumers say they'd be more likely to shop in places that offer personalized coupons and exclusive offers in store. So honestly, with our website platform, we give you all the tools necessary and resources, and we'll even perform some of the work for you to help support your different promotional incentives that you give your customers, or sales, and all those types of pieces. And we'll speak more of that service here coming up. Best in-market tools for your digital dealership. So assessing your online prominence. How quickly and easily can prospects find your dealership online, right? So if you look at social media, 36% of online shoppers become loyal customers after interacting with a brand on social media. You have an active social media presence, or Facebook for your business. Online reviews, 61% of online shoppers care about your dealership's reviews, and you really should as well, right? Business listings, Google's near me searches on mobile have increased 250% since 2017. What that means is from the palm of their hand, the consumer's hand, they're looking for different goods, products, and services near them to figure out where they can get it as quick as possible, right? include lawnmowers, snow throwers, tune-ups, winterizations in those. And you want to be found when not necessarily the consumer knows where to go, but the newer type of business you're going to be able to earn are going to be those people who know of a good, know of a service, know of a product, know of a brand that they want to interact with, purchase, or learn more about, but they're not sure where to get it from. So when they look for, and I'm in Duluth, Minnesota, when they look for a snowblower in Duluth, Minnesota, you want to come up when they know what they need, but they don't know where to go. We can help out with that. With search engine optimization, ARI runs a local SEO diagnostic test to determine a dealership's ranking on Google and to compare the results to your competitors. Tony Zane, with me on this call, and his team do a fantastic job of really diagnosing if you don't have a website with us, how is your website helping you? How is it hurting you? How does it compare to the different competitive factors and just really straight competitors in your area? And how easily, and again, at the top of this slide, how quickly and easily can prospects find you online? And I would add to that, how easy can they find you when they're not looking for you? Keep that in mind.
And most importantly, too, when we do this assessment, we also utilize this as a snapshot of what you have been doing or what your history looks like prior to coming on board to give you guys a baseline.
Exactly. Yeah, thanks for that, Tony. So connecting with qualified buyers, not just browsers. We want to make sure that we're generating leads and there's conversions happening on those leads, right? And we'll speak to that here in upcoming slides. Our mobile-friendly search, as you can see, in the screen grabs here, our mobile-friendly search allows for consumers to see what they would normally see on a desktop through the palm of their hand. Mobile, right here, mobile accounted for 79% of global website traffic in the US last year. 88% of customers who search for a type of business on a mobile device, they call or visit and act. There's action with that business within 24 hours. We have every tool set up and every single page set up and every single one of our websites set up to be mobile optimized to ensure that you do not miss out on the consumers out there that are performing that type of research outside of store hours with household decision makers to make purchases or decide where they're going to go or where they're going to conduct their business in the following days. Elevating the customer experience. Your website needs to prioritize your customer's experience and guide them down the digital path to purchase. Again, mobile-friendly design that quickly directs shoppers to the next step. Single click, click to call, easy to browse inventory and service listings. ADA compliant platform, ADA standing for the Americans with Disabilities Act. Our platform will allow for any customer or consumer in your area to interact with your website regardless of if they are legally blind or deaf. We are allowing for them to perform that research with you. And again, 19% of the US population has a disability that can affect their ability to navigate your website. Again, we have tools that mitigate that and allows them to be able to do business with you. Optimizing search results with geotagged inventory. Above the scroll, prominent call to action buttons directing visitors to services and inventory. So when you sign up on the website program with us, what we're going to do is we're going to design the website with all of your different goals in mind, what you want to promote, what services you offer, seasonality, of course, impacting a lot of those decisions. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that when a consumer lands on your website, before they scroll down, all the prominent buttons and places that they can interact with and click and learn about your business, before they scroll down, they can see all those prominent pieces. And that's just a really legitimate best practice to keep in mind whether you're utilizing our website or not. Mobile optimized lead forms. Obviously, we need to make sure that consumers can communicate whether they're on a desktop or, again, have a handheld device that they're looking to communicate with you on. And then, of course, we have a secure HTTPS URL and e-commerce for parts and accessories. Making sure that your websites are completely secure, completely effective in the way that they're searched and crawled by the search engines, by consumers, and then allowing you to sell parts and accessories through our platform to generate more higher margin sales. Creating a sales powerhouse, right? Industry-inspired web design. We talked about the design process earlier, making sure everything is above the fold or above the scrollable content before consumers scroll down. Expanding inventory visibility. We allow for you to easily manage, load, and show inventory that you're looking to move off the showroom floor. Fresh website content. We don't limit the amount of pages that you have. We allow you to manage a blog, or we'll help you update it for you. Newsletters is a very common capability that we see our customers take advantage of. We've talked about user and mobile friendly websites. Well, we allow you to make edits utilizing an editor that is also, again, user and mobile friendly if you would like the keys to the car to make changes on your own. Otherwise, we'll get to this in a little bit, but we'll also allow you to make requests that we'll take care of for you in making changes to the website. Fully integrated with all major dealer management systems. If you have a question on that, Tony's great at answering those types of inquiries. And then we, of course, we make sure that we load as many vehicle specs and images, keeping them as up to date as possible. That's really, this is a big separator from us as compared to any other website company out there. It makes, we make sure that we understand the industry and we keep all the industry specific information protected, updated, and we manage, I manage a lot of those relationships, of course, with those OEMs, those manufacturers, those distributors, to make sure that we get the most up to date data and information, and you don't have to worry about that. Factory promotions, banners, OEM parts lookup goes along with all of that as well. Mobile inventory management, like I said earlier, we make it easier from the palm of your hand to add inventory, just like within seconds. So we allow you, when you have a website with us, to download the ARI mobile app. When you download it, either from the Android or the Apple Store, it's free of charge. You take your login, you log in, you can take a picture of the inventory, you can make sure that you load in different details, pricing, if it has some damage or how long it's been used or whatever you want to add to it to make sure that the consumer can perform their research as effectively as possible and get the information that they normally would have gotten if they were in your store, right? And again, it's really complete control of your digital showroom at all times. When you actually select for it to load onto your website, it doesn't take a night to cache. It actually gets loaded to your website right away. Instant gratification, of course. Dealer support. This is my favorite slide of the entire presentation. This is a job that I used to do myself about a decade ago. And we do have dedicated customer success representatives. You're able to call them whenever you need a change to be made. You can email them as well. They're located out of either our Milwaukee, Wisconsin or Duluth, Minnesota offices. They provide training. Live and recorded trainings are available for onboarding and ongoing training as needed. We help you track the performance and ROI of the digital tools. Our support team also handles immediate needs and support. And look, at the end of the day, our customer success representatives, if we haven't heard from you in the last 90 days or 3 months, we will reach out proactively to set up a time. That comes with every single one of our website packages to make sure you're feeling supported, and with the different changes and seasonalities and brands and types of products and equipment and services that you want to be promoting during certain times of the year versus others, or if there's changing priorities, whatever it might be, the website's always a different type of target. It's always something that needs to reflect what you're doing in store for the consumers that are researching online. So every 90 days is a cadence that has proven to be very successful with our customer success representatives setting up times to stay in touch, because you all get busy. 3 months flies by like one day. I'm sure it kind of feels like that. You blink your eyes and all of a sudden it's 90 days later. Well, we'll hold you accountable. We just need the feedback. We need the communication, and we need to understand what your goals are. We'll allow you to make those changes if you would like, or you can let us know what changes you would like made and we'll make them for you. very, very important that a website company that's invested with your business to make it as successful as possible does that for you. Here's a little bit of some reporting and lead management. Of course, you can see different lead history reports, and we'll cover all these with you with the CSR appointments that we make every 90 days. And look, we can look at these all day long, and we can tell you, okay, here's a strength, here's a weakness. You know, we can see where customers are coming from, what they're looking for, and where they're going once they get to your website. And what's important for us to break down with you isn't necessarily like, you know, the strengths of what your website is doing well, it's the weaknesses that don't make sense. So if you're not being found for lawnmowers in your area when you should be, and when that's a big profit center for yourself, we need to tweak and make changes to the website so that we grow the impressions and we grow the leads for those customers in your area that are looking for lawnmowers, and get them on over to your website and interacting with those pages to draw more leads and sales, as one example.
It looks like we have a question here, Brian.
Oh yeah, okay.
The question is from Debbie. She says, who controls the site, you or the dealership? And the answer to your question, Debbie, is you control the website. The dealership pretty much has full control, full access to the admin panel. You can access, make changes. You've got that analytics piece that Brian just covered in the background, so you can view what your website's doing, the performance of it on a daily basis. But we also understand that you guys get busy, and that's why we do have a success team in place. So if you have a change that you need, that you want to make, but you don't have the time to do it, there's a spot right in the admin panel on the website to send a quick email right to your success rep. This is what I need done. So we will do the changes for you, especially during the busy season and even in the off season, but you have complete control over the website, so you can make any changes that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good question as well. I think Tony had a perfect answer for it. I would piggyback on top of that, Debbie, by saying, you know, ultimately it's up to you. If you would rather delegate a lot of the changes to be made, we just need to make sure that there's good communication between us and you, and we'll take care of those changes. If you would like access, and again, the keys to the car to make those 24/7, you know, 365 editing pieces that you can always access for your website, you can do that as well. So whatever is a better fit for you, I think we have the best of both worlds. Awesome question. Keep them coming as they come up. Creating a successful digital customer experience. So optimizing your dealership for online search. We've talked about search. We can't talk enough about search. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this slide, but again, when it comes to ensuring that we build a website, we got to make sure that that destination is allowing and is getting the traffic on over to it, because what good is a website that doesn't generate traffic? Not good at all. It's like putting, again, this is kind of an old term, but, or an old, you know, comparison, but it's kind of like having a billboard in the desert. Why put it there if no one's going to be there, right? So when it comes to SEO, search engine optimization, we employ a lot of organic search best practices to ensure that all of your website pages are indexed and you're able to be found accordingly. We also have different SEO campaigns that adapt, like it says here, to your online presence to shifting algorithms. Further above and beyond with regards to, you know, search engine optimization and getting your website to be found, ensuring it is allowing for you to invest and inject some steroids into it, right? There's going to be more competitive areas in some areas of the country or some areas of your state or your local area that are more competitive, and they're going to be tougher for you to be found, even if you do all the best practices. Trust me, we've seen this happen. And so it is very legitimate for many business owners to inject a little bit more into their website with Google advertising, Facebook advertising, pay-per-click advertising, targeted digital advertising, the TDA like it says down here, and connecting with the right leads at the right place at the right time, and focusing your marketing funds on highly qualified leads, of course. And again, if any of you would like to have more information on that, we're very happy to provide that, and so on and so forth. Launching a digital showroom. We talked a little bit about this last time. Our Dealer Pick 360, taking your leads on a digital inventory tour with 360-degree images, allowing you to upload through our app, through our actual offering, a way to kind of walk around digitally through the website, one of a riding lawnmower, a snow blower, different tools and different products as you see fit that you want to promote, right? So it captures 59 seconds of the visitor's attention, right? You have less than a minute to get their attention, and this is a great way to capture them, right? 75% of customers listed product image quality as the most important feature when shopping online. Looking at image, they don't even care. They won't even look at price before product image quality, right? So if it's not a good quality image, they're clicking the back button, or they're not advancing their research. 56% of shoppers will purchase from a 360-degree product walk around. It's easy to use. There's interactive image hotspots that provide customers with more information, and it is compatible with all devices, of course. So a little bit of a taste of what we have with one of our newest services to support yourselves. For more information, we're happy to provide that afterwards as we follow up with each of you. ChatBridge, I mentioned ChatBridge and online chat, and the way that consumers are becoming more trusting and more acclimated to communicate through different chat boxes in the lower right-hand corner of websites, because they're just that much more common, they're that much more effective, they're able to help answer questions very, very quick. More and more consumers would rather send a text, type in a message, than pick up the phone and talk these days. And that's not going to change. That's only going to be a trend that continues at the rate that it's changing, right? Customer communication is more effective than ever. You can pre-arrange chats with customers and send manual invites. You can communicate via text and email. You can easily transfer all those chats between different agents and really, service managers inside your dealership, inside your shop. And then there's also a really cool Facebook integration, allowing yourself to respond to chats on Facebook Messenger if you want to go that route too. And then the complete e-commerce experience. E-commerce is not going anywhere, it's only increasing. I think we would all agree about that. And so if you have the need and the want to connect with shoppers who spend the full buying process online, we can absolutely help you out with that. Think about this, does your dealership offer the following: mobile shopping or buy online and pick up in store, right? Mobile e-commerce is expected to account for 54% of 2021 e-commerce sales, according to Big Commerce. And in 2021, 91% of retailers plan to implement BOPIS, right? Buy online, purchase in store, according to Retail Touchpoints. So keep that in mind. We have all the tools to help you out with it. A little bit more information about e-commerce. Converting your website into a sales powerhouse, like we said earlier. E-commerce fully integrates with your ARI website. You're able to provide customers with everything they need to purchase online. Easily list your units through a streamlined inventory management process, so you can set your margins and markups accordingly, whether it's flat rate, whether it's by gross profit margins, totally up to you. We've got a lot of really good, we've got so much experience doing this that if you have questions and you're not sure how to do it, we can hold your hand through the process and make some suggestions to try based on your goals. So as a recap, what's hot in 2021? 40 years of industry experience with ARI. You can trust us. We're happy to help you, and we're excited to help you out. With our robust website platform built to drive leads, convert those leads into sales, right? digital marketing tools to boost your online prominence, live chat, text, 360-degree imagery, enhancing the website even further to what consumers' needs are when they're researching. And then, of course, like we just talked about, streamlined e-commerce management to complete the sales process online. EDA members who enroll in an ARI website are eligible for the savings we described earlier. And to remind you all of that, we'll take at least half off of the setup fee and at least 10% off the monthly fees for the first 12 months to start. We're very confident in the results that we can help generate and stay accountable to, and do business with you.
I don't see any more questions here, but I wanted to throw some information out your way of some of the questions we've seen in the prior webinars. And one of them is, how long does it take to get a site up and running? And for you guys wondering that, it's typically, it's really dependent on the dealer engagement, but typically it's 4 to 6 weeks. And what we do is we do a design consultation, and then about 10 days from that, you'll get a site proof. And if you respond to the site proof really quickly, I've seen websites spun up as quickly as 2 to 3 weeks. But typically, I would say allow for 4 to 6 weeks.
Perfect.
And then go ahead.
Yeah, Tony, generally a question that we've gotten before on this that I think it would be helpful for the group here is, what does the typical cost look like with our packages?
Okay, well, when we deal with cost, it's kind of like giving somebody an estimate over the phone on their zero turn. You wouldn't do that. You want to take a good look at it first. But generally, as a baseline, to get in, or as a starting point or a launch point, we will provide the website, which is fully robust, specs, features, finance promos, mobile responsive design, as Brian was talking about. Everything from that starting point, we will get you in at $299. Now, and that's monthly. Now, with the EDA membership, you do get 10% off of that for your first year as well. When you start diving into things like e-commerce and chat and Dealer Pick 360, those items we've really fine-tuned over the course of the last year, and we allow you to add those on a la carte. But what we've done is we've structured the pricing to heavily discount those items the more items you pick to add on. So that's really what we want to do, is we want to get you on the phone, assess what you're currently doing, see where your strengths are currently and how we can build on that, and then and figure out what your goals are. And that's how we handle that.
Perfect. All right, we'll give it another couple seconds if anyone has any other questions. I guess I'll just kind of put a wrap on this. Really, thank you very much for putting up with my voice for another half hour. At the end of the day, we're really excited to be able to, have an opportunity to speak with you all, to help you all with your online digital solutions. And, once again, I really want to profusely thank the EDA for their endorsement of our program. They've seen some really great, results from, many of their dealers and members utilizing our services. And I'll turn it back on over to Joe. And Joe, thank you very much again for allowing us this platform today.
Well, thank you, Brian and Tony. We really appreciate you sharing your time and information with our members today. For those of you that are on the call, if you have any specific questions that come up later regarding ARI's information with this particular webinar or any of their services, please reach out to Brian. And if you have any general questions about EDA or membership, or wish to provide feedback, you're welcome to reach out to me directly at jdykes@equipmentdealer.org or 636-349-6205. It's my direct number. Again, thank you for being with us today, and enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks again, everybody.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, everyone.